Strangers more than warriors is one that even today is relevant and worthy of contemplation. The story of how the Japanese people recast their nation and showed perseverance amidst so much change for the good is also a similarly important message. Redemption in a time of trial for an entire nation is a testament to the significant human values to which we all adhere. Today is International Peace Day. Let us commemorate the redemptive power of each human being to create, each in their own manner, a world in which they can be more proud of as every day goes by. In talking to my staff about the way that we present the tragic and inspirational stories of this site, a common theme coalesced in my mind about the enduring need to recognize peace as a part of this particular story. The horror and destruction eventually gave way to small kindnesses and selfless acts. We recognize that, despite different uniforms and languages, we are all still human. I want to thank all of you for attending this morning's events and for helping us spread awareness that there is room for peace here in Pearl Harbor. Thank you. And now I have a short message that I'd like to read from Senator Mazie Hirono, who was unable to be with us today. Her message states, "Today we come together in the name of peace and hope. It is appropriate that Sadako's crane will be exhibited at the World War II Valor in the Pacific National Monument for individuals to visit and reflect on for the devastating consequences of war. I want to thank all of you for your dedication to persevere and memorialize the life of Sadako Sasaki. A special mahalo to the Sasaki family for your generous gift that's a symbol of peace, hope, and extraordinary courage. Very sincerely, Senator Mazie Hirono. Aloha."
Thank you, Paul, for your words and acknowledgments. Before we go much further, I'd like to thank, by the way, before we get too far along and it's forgotten, all the volunteers this morning that made this happen. And in particular, my colleagues, the National Park Service Rangers, which you will see dotted among the group in their uniforms, all of them dedicated to this mission to bring this ceremony to fruition. And a good friend of mine and colleague, Scott has worked very hard to get that exhibit ready. I know that the Sasaki family has taken special note of that. So to all the National Park Service employees, I know that Paul shares this as well, that we are indeed thankful, and to our association in particular. I do have a message from the governor, and I will read that. Special message from Governor Neil Abercrombie, presented on the occasion of the dedication and unveiling of the Sasaki paper crane exhibit on International Peace Day. The people of Hawaii are honored and extremely grateful to the family of Sadako Sasaki for gifting our islands with one of the original paper cranes. This crane will be exhibited at World War II Valor in the Pacific National Monument at Pearl Harbor. And it will serve as an enduring reminder that as citizens of the world, we must continue to strive together for peace. With warmest regards, Neil Abercrombie. It is this time I'd like to introduce Masahiro Sasaki, chairman of the NPO Sadako Legacy.
ここにご列席の皆様、昨年貞子の遺品である折り鶴を寄贈できましたこと、そして本日このパールハーバーにて除幕式に参加できますことをとても光栄に思います。太平洋歴史公園局第二次世界大戦武勲記念史跡国立公園局の皆様、並びにこのプロジェクトのために一生懸命募金活動をしてくださいました本波本願寺広島ハワイ姉妹宗委員会、ハワイ日本文化センターおよび貞子鶴プロジェクトの実現に向けご協力いただいたボランティアを含むすべての皆様方に心からありがとうとございましたとお礼を申し述べたいと思います。戦艦アリゾナ生存者ロレン・ブルーナさんがご出席されています。大変光栄に思います。過去には日米両国において悲惨な辛い戦争を経験をいたしました。あれから70年が経過しようとしています。しかしながら戦争のいきさつなどについては日米にさまざまな違いが存在しています。悪いことだと分かったとき、素直に謝ることができる心を持たねばなりません。私は今素直に自分の心に従っています。だから過去の遺恨を引き継ぐことは全くありません。今日ここで先の戦争でこの地において犠牲になられた方々の英霊に対し謹んで哀悼の誠を捧げられますことを大変名誉に思います。そして原爆の少女の遺品を受け入れてくださった皆様の寛大なる心に心からの感謝を申し上げます。貞子とは12年間生きた思いを原爆のこの像の一番上で折り鶴を両手に力強く掲げて表現している少女、それが佐々木貞子です。同時にこの像は同じように原爆の犠牲になった多くの子どもたちの魂を慰めるものです。貞子は8ヶ月の闘病の中でこっそりと自分のカルテから白血球の数値を1枚のメモに書き写していました。そのメモは医師、看護師、家族などに知られることなく貞子の死後ベッドの下から見つかりました。ここにあります小さな折り鶴は彼女が死の直前まで折り続けたものです。医師のカルテから自分の命がもうすぐ終わると知った貞子は針を使って動かぬ手を必死で動かし最後の願いをこの鶴にかけました。それはみんなが当たり前のように過ごしている毎日、当たり前に学校に行き仕事をしいつものように遊ぶ、そんな毎日は命あるものが当たり前に感じていることではありますが、限りある命と知ってしまった時、当たり前であった毎日を返してほしい頃に変え、小さな胸に包み、その苦痛を全ての人に託し通しました。 貞子が自らの限界をも超えて我慢できた強さは、自らの死と引き換えにしようと決心した時、天から与えられたご褒美でした。死期が近づいても残りの命を使い果たすかのように必死で小さな折り鶴を折り続け、私たちに思いやりの心の大切さを、我が身を捨てた周りへの小さな心遣いが心の平和への第一歩だと教えてくれました。今や折り鶴は平和の象徴として世界中に広がり、貞子はみんなの心の中にいます。この小さな折り鶴により、小さな心の平和を作るきっかけとなる思いやりという心を皆さんと共有することになれば、やがて大きな平和を願う心へとつながっていくと確信をしています。これから先、皆様と手を取り合い、この小さな心の平和の輪を広げつなげていけば、やがて大きな平和への道が開け、次の世代へ輝かしい未来を約束できると思っています。2013年9月21日、NPO 法人貞子レガシー代表佐々木正弘、副代表佐々木雄二、ありがとうございました。
So now, translating what Mr. Masahiro Sasaki just spoke to you. Good morning, dear distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We are deeply honored to have been able to donate one of the Sadako cranes to Pearl Harbor and to be able to participate in this unveiling ceremony here today. I'd like to take this opportunity to express our sincere gratitude to Pacific Historic Parks and the National Park Service of Pearl Harbor for your tremendous support of this project. We are incredibly grateful to the Honpa Hongwanji Mission of Hawaii and the Hiroshima Hawaii Sister State Committee and the Japanese Cultural Center of Hawaii, and all of those who contributed to raise funds to make the Sadako Crane project possible, including a large number of volunteers and students who are helping us today. Thank you so much. It's a great honor to have Mr. Lauren Bruner, the survivor of the U.S. Arizona battleship, and the other survivors who are here today, who are introduced today, present here with us today. In the past, both the U.S. and Japan went through the tough times. It's been almost 70 years since then. However, dissenting opinions on the war still exist on both sides. I believe that everyone must have an open heart so that we can sincerely apologize when we realize that we did something wrong. I hold no animosity. The sad past has never dragged me down, as I always follow my heart. Today, I am extremely honored and humbled to have the opportunity to extend my heartfelt condolence to the souls of the victims who lost their lives here at Pearl Harbor and during the war. And we would like to extend our sincere appreciation to all of you here and your generosity in accepting the gift left by a little girl named Sadako, my little sister, the victim of the atomic bombing of Hiroshima. The guard figure holding a paper crane to the sky on the top of the Children's Peace Monument in Hiroshima Peace Memorial Park symbolizes the spirit of 12 years of her life. The god is Sadako Sasaki, and it was built to console the spirit of Sadako and all the other children who were killed by the atomic bomb. During her 8-month battle with leukemia, Sadako secretly copied and wrote her white blood cell counts and a piece of paper from her own medical record. That memo was unknown to her doctor, nurses, or even to her family until it was discovered under her bed after she died. The paper crane you will see here at Pearl Harbor is one of her last paper cranes folded by her right before her death. When she sensed that she was going to die, she even continued folding paper cranes using a needle and entrusted this crane with her last hope. Those of us who can embrace our lives and continue to live tend to take our daily lives for granted, such as being able to go to school and being able to work and being able to play. But when we face our own impending death, many of us can't help wishing if we could go back to the good old days we took for granted. But when Sadako learned that she couldn't live very long, she didn't feel resentful about her fate. She was able to transform 3 kinds of suffering she experienced: physical pain, psychological pain and fear, and economic hardship her family was struggling, into the spirit of compassion, omoyari in Japanese, and it held it in her heart and managed to conceal the pain from people around her all the way through. The strength that enabled her to endure an unbearable pain was given to her as a gift from heaven when she accepted her impending death. She kept holding paper cranes even when she was approaching the end of her life. It was as if she was using all of the strengths that sustained the rest of her life. Through this act, Sadako taught us one thing: the first step to achieve peace in our own hearts is to have compassion, selflessness, and the thoughtfulness toward the people around us. Her paper cranes have become a symbol of wishes for peace and spread to the world, and her spirit continues to live on in everyone. We are certain that if we can share the spirit of compassion or moyari with everyone else, we can pave the path to a more peaceful world, and we can be hopeful for a bright future for the next generation. If we all just stand united, hand in hand, and pass the spirit of peace around. Thank you. Sasaki Masahiro, the founder, the NPO Sadako Legacy, and Yuji Sasaki, the co-founder, the NPO Sadako Legacy, on September 21st, 2013. Thank you.
I'd like to call to the podium Yuji Sasaki, who will perform in Ore.